think I'm complete. Ready here.
I'm ready. How about you, Turbo?
Let's go get him!
Today I want to talk to you about the vintage GoBots power suits. Meet Grungy and Courageous. We're going to take a look at these. We're going to show kind of what all they do and have a little bit of talk about GoBots today, because GoBots just don't get enough love here on Retro Wednesday. I can't believe I've already made 5 GoBot videos, so this will be number 6, and I'll link a couple of those down below. But before we get into all of this, don't forget, today is the first day of backing the Eternia, so happy birthday to He-Man on Retro Wednesday. But now let's go ahead and get into looking at the GoBots power suits coming up. Alright, so looking at all of the power suits, they are about the same. Now, most people believe these are just really lame and they're cheap. So most people don't understand what all they do and how it all works together. So generally, there's going to be some sort of opening flap to it and a lower compartment with 2 doors, and they have a place for a gun to connect to it, and that is whether it's an arm or leg or anything like that. You put your figure into here. Now, based on which one you have, there's more or less room in here for your figures. Then you close up the side to hold it in to encapsulate it. You can close it all the way like that to hold a smaller one in. You can open the doors a little wider to put a bigger one in. Then you can close up the top here and then slide this back. Now, they don't all have sliders, I don't think. Some of them, maybe they all have the sliding function on them. So anyway, this is something that makes it fragile, the way the slider mechanism is in there. So then you have the figure. You can always see the face in it. You can kind of see it from the side. And it makes for a good looking set when it's combined. Now, separately by itself, you look like you just bounce around or you slide or something. So it's not super good looking on its own, but it's a lot of fun once it's combined. And then that's the way I like it the most. I really don't plan on doing much more with mine, but of course I'm making this video, so it's going to be kind of fun. So let's look at what it looks like combined. Okay, so starting with Courageous, they're so big, it's really hard to get all into frame here. There are a few things I want to show on this first. First of all, looking at, we've got stickers, we have the eyes in there, they're painted red, and so someone else had pointed out that if he has red eyes, then his hands are red. So that's kind of cool right there. And then lots of stickers. Now, I believe these were all pre-applied by the manufacturer, Bandai. Bandai made these, so that's kind of cool. We're going to show what that does here in a little bit. And then moving on down, more stickers down here in this area. Funny part, a lot of the stickers do cover up screws. So if you ever decide to take one apart to repair it or something, you're going to mess up your stickers. And I don't know anyone that, well, cares enough about this to do reproduction stickers. So you're going to find that with more obscure items such as this, that there's probably not reproduction stickers out there. So each one of these is numbered. P3 and P4 are the legs. They also have these feet that attach and slide on. Got to look for some chrome being super shiny, and these are okay, I guess. Now, I want to show that I do have a gun. Oh, my foot fell off. Just slides on like this. You can clip the gun to the side, or you can unclip the smaller gun pieces and clip them to the side also. So this is something that if you want to play ability with your item, your power suits, you can have this on either side down below, and you can really just make this thing look super armored up. And I think that was something that they really decided to do back in the day, just to make it look super armored up. As you can see in here, I have Tank and Crasher, because I wanted some big names in this. And then up here we got like I actually forgot what the locomotive guy, I forgot his name. I am looking to get all 56 or so figures restored and in good condition to do a full video of these one day, but that's still almost a year off. So now this opens up inside to put a figure, which I was waiting to put, of course, the main baddie, the main bad guy, and there he is. Now I feel like he's just going to bounce around in there. He's not going to stand well. Let's see. There's a slot down here, but it's too small for his feet. But I just know I'm going to put Cycle in here. Now you really can't see much of him in there, so it's kind of a waste, but I know he's in there, so I guess that's all that's going to matter with that one. Leader 1 in here, and so that makes a lot of sense to me to have the leaders in there. Then we have Pathfinder. We have Royal T. That was a recommendation from T2RX6. And then getting down here, an extra small foot that fit in there and a turbo. So yeah, putting some of the main cast in here. And I think Scooter doesn't really fit into any of them. He'll fit in this one, I bet. And then another thing I was wondering is, would a second one fit in there? Nah, you can't fit a second one in there. Dropped his gun. So convenient he dropped his gun. I can show that you can fold it up. You've got 2 slots that you can tab into right here. And he could hold the gun like that too. So it's an alternate. He can have his hands free for, I don't know, slapping Psykill or something, or slapping Grungy, and still have his gun right there. Now, I actually like these power suits, and when I was putting my set together, I had enough parts to almost make another one, so I found those couple of parts to have a spare set. And the thing I want to say about this is that if you don't put figures in it, it does look kind of weak. It doesn't look all that impressive. I think it looks so much better and more filled out and full with figures in it. And most of the time I displayed mine without figures, so I was like, hey, I got to get figures in it, and it does look so much better once you put the figures in it and all that kind of stuff. But I would suggest maybe find a beater lot or something to throw some figures in there just to have extra figures, because you probably want to display your best looking ones in your main display or something like that. So with that, of course, I would definitely have figures in a power suit, and I like to display it in bot mode. So here he is from the back, and with that, you have a couple of options with wings can go all the way to the back like so, and you can make it like this and give a more slender, slimline appearance if you want to, but he wouldn't fit on my shelf like that, so I fit him on my shelf by making it like this. So the way I gotta be careful. Let me be careful. So that brings me to another point. These are very fragile. Although they may seem like they're pretty solid, the plastic does not age well, and a lot of these break very easily. A lot of the joints seize up right here where this does this, and mine doesn't fit exactly well on the foot. Now I can fix that with a little bit of the whole polish, but mine is literally just going to stand there and do nothing for the rest of forever, so I'm not going to bother with it. But understand, these are fragile, and there are some fragile breaking points on these, such as the hinges on the arms and limbs, and of course those wings I've seen break off a lot, and the hips seem to break a lot. So putting them next to Courageous, there are a couple of differences you're going to notice, but they're the exact same mold, just recolored, and that's it, really. But you see difference in colors of stickers, you see difference in, the color of sticker there, the color of stickers down here, so we've got red versus blue. And now that I step back and look at the coloration, they've got different hands, red versus black, black gun versus red, and you could argue orange, orangish red. I mean, it's a moot point, but with that, the feet, gray versus red, and then the stickers on the feet are different. So it's really kind of cool that they kind of did that, but it's the same exact mold with different colors. And I'm not against that. GoBots did that. They recolored Psykill and Leader 1 and Crasher and a whole bunch of them, but not all of them. They didn't recolor all of the GoBots. So there's only like a dozen or so that got recolored versions. And from the back, that's how they look. About the same from the back. And with that, let's go ahead and do a transformation on my spare Grungy over here. It's always a challenge to do all this. Okay, so we are going to pull this up, slide this down. Now, this does hold in with friction just fine, it seems. Take the hand off, set those aside. By the way, this is ultra simple, but I'm going through it in all of the motions here with my spare one. If I break it, well, I've got one that's not broken. You're gonna notice chrome starts to wear on these. That's why, you know, I was like, which one's better? This sticks sometimes. So it's got both of the legs have spring action to sort of hold it in place, which is nice. It's a nice touch, a nice feature that Bandai included. We can set all this aside for now because all this is doing stuff. Well, not the limbs, I don't think. So then we transform it. So first thing, we can put the landing gear down. Then we can slowly fold this up. And then the other side, slowly fold this up. So as you can see, you got wheels here, and you've got this stuff's gonna rub. That's just gonna rub. There's no way around it. It's going to rub. Now, this is the cool part, and I thought this was pretty cool. So you take the feet, and then, and I like to keep it the same. Like if you've got a left foot, put the left hand in there. Open that up, and put your hand in there. Give it a hand. And that's for storage. Then you slide it onto here, and there it goes. Same thing on the other side. This is not wanting to come off. Okay. Slide this into here. So that's really cool that they have hand storage and all this stuff so kids don't lose their stuff. But of course, go look online. You're going to find kids lost their stuff anyway. All the planning and all of the weapon integration and part integration, and they're still going to lose it. So you have these pieces, which theoretically should have figures in it, so the figures can go all off and do whatever. And then here's the ship. So the ship itself looks pretty interesting. I think this is such a cool idea, and the way they did it, and the way they pulled this off, and so fantastic. It does have a canopy on it, but it doesn't open. So you can see, if you look real close, which if the camera's not going to pick it up, it has a molded seat in there, but they didn't make a figure to go in it. So that would have been kind of cool if they had made it opening. But then again, they would have all broken off if they were opening. So I think you can fold this down here. Reverse type wings. So pretty cool in its alt mode. Now for comparison, yeah, I just knocked off the Great One. I'm going to lose 5 subscribers. But anyway, this is how they scale next to MP36 Megatron. These are big bad boys. I think they're about 12 inches tall. Didn't bring the tape measure up here, but they're about 12 inch. This is a 9-inch, 10-inch figure. Oh, maybe they're 13 or 14 inch. So pretty tall guys. Looking next to MP44, but wait, let's put a classic in here. G1 Optimus Prime. So they towered over it. So this is really, it was, if I had these back in the day, this would have been so much fun. Here he is next to a vintage Voltron, and yes, they're bigger than a vintage Voltron, but are they bigger than the Panache Place? Looks like Panache is taller than them, and the Panache Place one is, I don't know how tall that one is. Gosh, Panache. Okay, so I keep saying GoBots doesn't get enough love, so this is like Action, Robo, Force, whatever. This one, I got it on sale because that line wasn't very popular, so a lot of that stuff clearanced out. This is the same company, but doing a deluxe version, but they tapped out. Hopefully Bandai steps up. Even at $100 a figure, it would be worth getting at least the main 6, right? Or the main 8 or 10, but get them in this style. Yes, exactly like that. Now I think this was DX9, and they also did a Crasher that I don't have, which is almost elusive. And we got the Super GoBots, which personally I wish when they made Super GoBots, they should have left the original design alone like they did. I think they pretty much left the same design alone on that guy. But they really messed with the formula on him and sort of screwed the figure up, in my opinion. But with that, I would have also liked a little more articulation in the figures. Just, 4 extra joints or something. If you're going to make them super price point and all that kind of stuff, they just made them bigger. And sometimes a little better because there's some, there's die cast in the other ones too. But still, I like these, but would have been nice to have the whole cast, or at least the main cast in Super GoBots from back in the day. Come on, let's do this in the Masterpiece. Alright, so my final thoughts on the GoBot Power Suits, Grungy and Courageous. I like them. I think that they're cool. I think you can still get them pretty cheap on eBay, and maybe you have to buy 2 or 3 lots, piece yourself together one that's good, or buy a complete one for over $100. Those are your options in 2022, but it's still a pretty cool item to display your figures, and it's really cool that it works. But there's some breakage points that I pointed out, so there's fragility of the plastic, and I think over time the plastic really doesn't hold up. But if you're just putting it on your shelf and you got a good one that sort of works already, I would just kind of bend those hip joints once in a while to make sure that they don't seize up, and you'll be good. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you have this back in the day? Do you have this now? Is this something that you've thought about or just didn't even know what all it did? Like and subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.
Perfect timing, Turbo. We've got Courageous in the power suit, and we're ready to rendezvous. We're on our way.
Guys better hurry. That metal dinosaur's headed downtown.
We're ready, Matt. Activate Courageous. Okay, Guardians, it's time for the big guns.
We've got to blast its power port.
Scoot's right. The only sure way to stop him is by hitting him where it counts.
Then let's blow this baby and go home.